let me, because when I went to this setting, the sheltered workshop, I was blown away by the positive atmosphere, and what I read was only a third of people with cognitive disabilities are employed. So what I don't want, obviously we want to give as many employment opportunities as we can. Is there a place for sheltered workshops, and is what I'm saying, or do you believe that all employment should be in competitive integrated settings?
Let me answer it in a couple of ways for you. One is that I think that, as we talked about on employment first, is the presumption of employability for everybody. And so the presumption is that, in fact, everybody can work, and I think that's the starting point. That's the sense of expectation that we had talked about before. In the longer term, would we have people who are in sheltered employment? One of the things that, and I think Mr. Egan had commented on it, the advantages for him are the advantages of not just necessarily getting a paycheck, but also having the opportunity to have friends and interactions, and have, frankly, the interactions that he just had with you, and sparring back and forth, but having a set of relationships and associations. That's what we're looking for within the competitive labor market. What we would find is that the difference in earnings, for the most part, between those folks in segregated or sheltered employment and those folks in competitive integrated employment is fourfold. Those are data from the national core indicators that shows that, in fact, there's much more of an opportunity for people to earn more money, to be more part of the social fabric. Now, I haven't answered your very specific question. Is there a place for shelter workshops in the long term? The state of Washington, who Representative McMorris Rogers may not be here, was the state that, in fact, is demonstrating that 65% of the people who are served by that state agency are in integrated employment. And their focus was really on getting to there by facilitating and helping the providers move to a point that they offered those services and they allowed people to advance and to move into employment. So their strategy, which is a sound strategy, was to take the system and move it forward. How they did that was by changing some of the contractual language that they used and saying, this is what we want to purchase. These are the types of expectations. What we talked about before, this is what the students who are coming out and graduating from school are asking for. I fully expect a job. This is what 63% in the study that I cited before of individuals are saying who are in the workshop. I expect to go to work. And so that's what we're saying for, is go for those expectations. Can they work? Now, the other question is that, and the citation that I gave you about the forecast in 2018, albeit all the risks of forecasting the future we know are there, that the older worker in the workforce is really changing the way the industry is supporting workers in general and maintaining productivity. Some of the strategies that are used to support people with intellectual disabilities in the workplace are the same strategies, are very similar strategies that are used to support the older worker. So is it a foreign place to do that? No, it's not really. In fact, many industries, and I'm sure that Randy would probably be able to support this in his experiences with the diversity of workers who are in the workplace. In the longer term, what we talked about was the expectation and the fact that I would say we have a victory when the labor force participation rate for people is the same, which is 71.9%.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you for letting me go first. I really appreciate it, and thank you.